But Mark, let's move on into our final topic. We're looking at the final head coaching hire from this week, and it's Steve Wilks becoming the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. And before we get into this, I got 2 quotes that I want to read. Well, really 3, but 2 of them are a part of one. The first one is a headline from azcardinals.com, and it says, Steve Wilks, you guys made the right decision. Very short, very simple. The one from ESPN, though, is probably the one I love the most, where in his first news conference laid out the plans to win a Super Bowl, and here's what he had to say. When you look at coming into a new situation, we always talk about trying to establish a culture. We want to establish a culture of winning, and I want that culture to transcend not only with the players and the coaches, but with everyone in the organization. It's about a commitment to excellence, and everything we do is going to be predicated towards that. Excellence when we go on the field, in the way we tackle, the way we block, the way we catch, the way we cook the food, the way we operate in the training room, the way we answer the phones, and the way we cut the grass. They're many parts, but we're one body at work, end quote. There's a couple things in here. First off, I love how he uses the word that you absolutely love, and I say it sarcastically, gotta build the culture, gotta establish the culture. I use it a lot.
Doesn't mean very much.
And you get sick of me using it a lot.
It just doesn't mean anything.
What do you think of these quotes from Wilks in his first press conference for the Cardinals?
Part of me kind of is like, well, I like it because you're coming in there and you're saying, I'm demanding excellence. I want everything to be perfect. We don't mess around here. It kind of almost reminds me of Tom Coughlin, of coming in here and saying, we're on Coughlin time. Set the clocks 5 minutes forward.
Set your watches 5 minutes fast.
And, you know, I think that's stupid, but...
Now, the thing I will say is setting the clocks 5 minutes fast is one thing, but like I was always told in high school, when it came to like being to rehearsals on time, it was if you're early, you're on time, you're late, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like that's how I was always ingrained into my head. So like the clock thing, maybe moving them forward physically is a stretch.
That's a common sports thing, and I think it's silly that we're on Tom Coughlin time. No, you just instead of a meeting being at 5, it's at
5:55.
It's at 4:55.
Yeah.
Now you just
It'd be
set
bad
it 5 minutes early.
It'd be bad if you showed up at 5:55.
You'd be like, where'd everybody go? But anyways, you know, part of that reminds me of the Tom Coughlin type of thing, of coming in here being kind of no nonsense type of a guy, and he goes so far to be no nonsense where he says, "Hey, let's talk about the elephant in the room. We don't have a quarterback. We need one." Unfortunately, like I said, joke to you, it's not because Carson Wentz is bad. It's because he retired. That they're saying they don't have anything.
He also used your favorite word, White Sox fan. This is not a rebuild, it's a retool.
There you go. But, I mean, I think, actually, that's the perfect segue for me, is a lot of this, to me, feels very cheesy, feels like he's saying the right thing. Yeah.
Has he got the pom-poms going?
Kind of. It sounds like to me, and we've all had this boss at one point in time, he tells everybody what they need to hear. Doesn't mean he's actually going to do it. He just makes everybody jump on board, makes everybody like it, doesn't mean he's going to do it. Now, the flip side of it, and the thing where I do have some confidence with Wilks, is just Carolina. I mean, I know that he was only the defensive coordinator for about a year, but he was there with a huge amount of success that they had on the defensive side of the ball, all the way from 2012 through just now, 2017. He has seen some success. He has helped build up such a strong defensive unit, which I know this year and last year they had some rough moments here and there, but they still have fought really hard and been really strong. And he's not going to an Arizona Cardinals team that has no talent. They've got talent out there. They just need to kind of fix some things that are wrong, put out some of the fires, and build on some of the things that are being successful. So it's not a bad job. He definitely can be successful. I certainly believe that. What I'm just, I I said it with Matt Nagy in Chicago that you hear this press conference and the press conference doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but
who cares?
You liked what you heard from
I
Nagy.
liked what I heard from him, and with Steve Wilks, I'm kind of like, man, I think you're trying a little hard right now.
You want another
but
one
I don't
that
think
went
it
over the
matters.
line?
Sure.
Here's another one that went over. Like, I like what he's saying, but yet again, there's two things that I will not tolerate. That's pre-snap and post-snap penalties. Pre-snap to me is a sign of being undisciplined. Post-snap is a sign of being selfish. And everything I'm talking about is about team. Again, it's not about me. It's not about them as individuals, and it's about us. And that's what we're going to focus on.
See, and that would make me, if I was a player, I'd be like, yeah, okay, coach. Like, roll your eyes and like, come on, coach. We know.
However,
we know.
The thing I do like in that is the sense of,
No
as a
nonsense.
fan, not that part. It's the, okay, cool. I'm not going to see dumb penalties out there, because how many times do we watch teams and there's a post-snap or a pre-snap penalty and it's like, come on, what are we doing out there?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
That's the one thing where it's like, okay, I get what you're saying. I like that you think that, but are you crossing the line a little bit to try to get a point home?
Well, yeah, I think I sit there and I say, you don't need to say it. You know,
Do it.
There were people here in the Chicago sports media with Nagy, because I think it's a good comparison because of the press conferences.
Yeah.
Where they were upset that he never mentioned how one of his goals is to win a Super Bowl. And he said in response,
That's always the goal.
yeah, he said, I don't think it's necessary to say that. Basically, I mean, he said it differently, but that's essentially what he's trying to get across. Where, like, you know, Steve Wilks to come in here and immediately talk about how, you know, a goal is to win a Super Bowl. I said there and go, well, yeah, you want to win a Super Bowl.
To me, it's kind of like saying,
you don't need to say it.
It's kind of like telling someone, like, hey, I'm going to brush my teeth tomorrow.
Good.
Where it's like, okay, or like, hey, I'm going to take a shower tomorrow. Okay, thanks for telling me. Like, shouldn't you automatically do that?
I mean, I think we're criticizing the press conference mostly just because it's fun.
Yeah.
But, like, and like we've said before, watch the Matt Nagy podcast, you know, the press conferences are dumb. They're silly. I don't know why they even exist.
Well, I mean, I'll relate it back to, like I said, when I would watch my Illinois basketball when John Gross was here, every press conference, even Tim Beckman to a point, even Lovie Smith now, watch the press conferences, and I loved it. But then it's like I'd watch the product on the field, and I'd go, what the fuck is going on here? And, that's why press conferences, I mean, it's easy to make fun of them, but really it's like, okay, I'm not going to take any stock in this until I see what's going on the field.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it comes down to. I mean, he's just kind of saying things that he
wants
very
to get people excited.
A very cheesy TV show head coach of a football team would say. I mean, if you know, I love Friday Night Lights.
Coach Taylor?
It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Clear
but
eyes,
some
full
of the
hearts.
things that Coach Taylor says, if you actually said that in a locker room, the players would be like, all right, coach. All right.
Hey, man, clear eyes, full hearts.
Hey, that works. I'm okay with that part. But
However, the Billy Bob Thornton version, was that kind of had some cheesy moments, did it not?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. You know, it's Hollywood, but that's what it sounds like to me. It almost sounds like Steve Wilks talking the way he thinks a head coach should talk.
Al Pacino
and maybe
in
that's just
Any
the
Given
way he
Sunday?
is.
Try to give the Any Given Sunday speech.
Maybe that's just the way that he is, and he really is that type of guy, and that's all right.
A speech giver?
Yeah, a very, like, I got to work on this speech for the team right now. But I do think that he's going to go in there and he's going to say, no nonsense. We do our jobs. We don't mess around. There's not going to be penalties. We are going to be a good, disciplined team. We are going to be successful. I definitely think he is that guy who will get that out of players, and I think that Arizona is a good place to do that. The unfortunate thing he's going to have, and a thing that could potentially cost him a job if they don't fix it soon in 2-3 years, there's no quarterback.
Here's what I was just going to bring that up. You know who's going to be the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals next year?
I hope not Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
I would love Kirk Cousins.
Sam Bradford.
I don't like it.
Here's why. Here's what I'm thinking. Drew Brees, New Orleans not going to let him go. They're going to get him to a contract. They're not trading him. Kirk Cousins, although I would hate it, I think the Redskins are going to franchise tag him. I don't think they let him walk. He's going to get paid $34 million this year to be a Redskin quarterback yet again. the next best free agent quarterback when it comes to like Case Keenum. I think he gets franchise tagged by the Vikings. I don't know if you want Ryan Fitzpatrick. Josh McCown has already come out and said he wants to come back and play for the Jets. Jay Cutler, he came back for 1 year. He's probably going to be like, I should have just fucking stayed retired, although I did get a paycheck for this year. Then you've got like Matt Moore, Geno Smith could be free agents. Your best bet might be, hey, besides drafting a rookie, because the question still becomes, like we talked about, do you go and get one at 15, or do you wait to get one, or do you trade up to get one, or do you say, hey, you know what? We're going to go defense at 15 because in our mock draft, there's after like the teens, it was late teens and on was when we had a lot of defensive players coming off the board. Does Wilks go, no, we're going to take defense because we signed Sam Bradford to be our stopgap for at least a year?
I don't know. I don't know about Sam Bradford, but I get what you're saying. That
I just think he's going to be the best option out there for him.
Could trade for potential Super Bowl winning quarterback Nick Foles.
True.
That's possible.
Could also offer a trade for, let's say they franchise tag Kirk Cousins. Okay, we'll trade for him.
Yeah.
Because we want to go ahead and have him. Or,
they
hey, we want to go
Glennon.
ahead. Yeah, they can trade. Well, Mike Glennon, won't he be up? Won't he be a free agent?
No, he got a 3-year deal.
I thought it had an out after 1 year.
Well, there might be an out. No, it's just that they can cut him. There's not a lot of dead money.
Are they going to cut him though? I thought the plan was to cut him after the 1 year.
Well, I mean, the Bears aren't going to go out there and say we're going to cut Mike Glennon after year 1.
But I thought that the big thing that Bears fans loved about the deal is that you guys could get rid of him after this 1 year.
That they could, yeah. But will they?
You know who could be a possibility depending on what happens? Mm-hmm. Tyrod Taylor.
That's
what
very
if he
true.
either gets cut or do you go ahead and try to make an offer for Tyrod?
I can see it.
I mean, I don't know if you make an offer for Tyrod. I would wait and see if Buffalo's going to cut him. But like that could be a possibility. If he gets cut, he's ultimately, besides Breeze and Cousins, he goes to the top of the board on my mind of free agent quarterbacks.
Now there's a guy in Minnesota you could go for. You guys keep Keenum. And then they can trade for, instead of Sam Bradford, Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, no, we're re-signing Teddy. We're not letting Teddy go. We're not letting Teddy Bridge over troubled waters go anywhere. But really, that's the big question is who's going to be that starting quarterback? Because Carson Palmer is retired. Drew Stanton is a free agent. You do have Matt Barkley. You do have Yo Gabba Gabba. Like... Are you excited about Matt Barkley or Blaine Gabbert? Because I am not. And that's the question. However, they could go at 15 and go and draft a quarterback like I had in my mock draft where I had him going with Lamar Action Jackson at 15 or a Mason Rudolph at a 15.
Yeah.
Or if you think that's kind of high for either of those quarterbacks, trading up to get a Baker Mayfield, to get a Josh Allen, to get I don't think they trade up for 2 or 1 to get Rosen or Darnold, but that's going to be the big thing for Wilks. And if he can't get a quarterback year 1, it's not going to be a very successful season for him in his first year in Arizona.
Yeah. And that's going to be a difficult thing because I do think that so many teams and GMs especially are so pressed to get that quarterback. And if you don't get the quarterback and it doesn't work out, you get rid of the coach because somehow you're blaming the coach because a GM doesn't want the blame on them. Mm-hmm. They're going to pin it on a coach right off the bat. So you do have some danger there for Wilks. But really, I like it. I think he will build this Cardinals defense back to a very solid level. And I'm honestly, as much as I like to make fun of his press conference, I'm pretty happy with it.
I think that's going to do it for the Wilks talk. The camera died on us, idiot Ricky. I brought the other battery over by the camera. Didn't put it in the camera.
Well, it's there.
Didn't put it in the camera.
It's nearby.
So you're looking at the logo on YouTube. I apologize for that. Before we go through the end of the podcast, what's your prediction for the Pro Bowl?
NFC 50-7.
Does it matter? That's my prediction. Does it matter? You let me know down the below. What was it? It's just play the rock right here. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. It's the Pro Bowl. But thank you guys for watching and listening to the Onside Kick this week. A little bit of housekeeping here at the end. If you liked what you listened to and saw, go and check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. If you can throw a couple bucks our way, it would mean a lot to us and it would really help us out. Also, go and check out the MVP.com, mostvaluablepodcast.com, actually. That's where everything goes up. We're selling t-shirts down below in the description. If you're on iTunes, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. And last but not least, if you haven't given us your feedback in the MVP survey, please go ahead and give us that feedback. We're going to be using this last week to collect the final responses and then give you guys our thoughts to your feedback and kind of go over some things next week. But I want to thank you guys for either watching, I'm pointing at the camera, but you can't see me, or listening. And as always, have a good day, everybody.